So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just franchise tagged Chris Godwin, and to be honest, it's a bit surprising because, the whole thing about Tampa Bay is they have so many weapons, and with the franchise tag, it's actually worse this next year to tag someone than it is to sign them to a long deal. Because of the tag, they're paying him over $15 million this year, whereas if they gave him a long-term deal for, even if it was like a $17 million average, you can backload that contract and, it'd be a lot more manageable this year, so you can try and sign a Shaq Barrett or a Levante David, because now they only have a couple $1 million in cap space, and it's interesting to see what they're going to do with it. I guess I'll talk more about that at the end. Right now, I'm just going to talk about Chris Godwin, what he is as a player, because he's absolutely worth this money. There's no doubt about it, and he would have gotten more money with a long-term deal had he gone to free agency. So part of me wonders if maybe they're going to work out a long-term deal to actually save money. But anyways, let's just talk about him as a player. So we'll start off with this play. This was his biggest play because, he had the drops issues earlier in the playoffs, but this play was the one that I felt like was his biggest play of the postseason, and it was one of the Buccaneers' biggest plays in the postseason. This was basically Tom Brady just saying, screw it, I'm going to throw one up and hope that Chris Godwin is able to make the grab, and he's Chris Godwin. So it's going to be a cover 3 zone, and what's interesting about this is it's 7-7 early in the second quarter, but it's a 3rd down and 9. So this is part of why Brady's going to take this chance. It is going to be a cover 3 zone, and Godwin's running a deep route. Typically, these kind of routes are just to get a safety further deep. Green Bay is showing cover 2, so maybe you hope you can split the safeties. I don't know. But anyways, watch what happens. So Brady takes a snap, and you notice that Chris Godwin, there's not really separation right here. Maybe there would be if Godwin was running, towards the bottom of the screen, but that's not his route. He's running closer to the middle of the screen, which is basically he's running into the safeties. So while there's a lot of literal separation in terms of where the route is going, it's not a ton of separation that way. But what's amazing is Brady's going to say, screw it, let's take this chance anyways, because if it's an interception, it's still not great because there's a chance of a good return. There's, even if it's not a great return, it's still not going to be as good as a punt. But at least it's not the end of the world since it already is 3rd down. And B, Godwin could end up making a big grab, and so Brady's going to take the chance. Tom Brady throws one up, and Chris Godwin is going to bail him out with just an incredible grab, and that's what he can do. He can make incredible plays. He is a true number 1 receiver in that regard, where he can bail out a quarterback at times, and when you have a quarterback that doesn't need bailing out in Tom Brady because of how good he is, it just makes everything a lot easier for Tampa Bay. So he has a big impact. This one's another good example where what's going to happen is this one's, again, going to be a cover 3 zone. It's really Mike Evans, though, that's going to be a key guy to watch to some degree, because when he runs over the middle, this is going to get the defensive back who's in charge of covering the deep left for Tom Brady. The offense is left deep down the field. He's going to move further in since that's where Evans runs, and then Godwin, who's currently lined up in the slot, kind of runs and tries to get in that area as quick as possible. So watch, Tom Brady takes a snap, and you notice that, for one thing, a linebacker does a good job of realizing what's going on, knowing his situation, and staying deep with Chris Godwin, but still, it's a linebacker on Godwin. You expect this to happen. The one thing that's not going to go well for Tampa Bay is this isn't going to be a perfect throw from Brady. Watch, it's a bit underthrown, but Godwin slows down, tracks it beautifully, and makes the grab. Again, incredible play by Chris Godwin. Even if it wasn't a perfect throw, he was able to get plenty of separation if he needed it. Bit underthrown, but he still makes the grab. And there's just the little things, like what's going to happen on this one. It's a man coverage play, again, cover 1, and Godwin's running over the middle. This is a route that's good against this type of coverage, so you sort of expect Godwin to be able to get open on this play. But once this play starts, watch how Godwin not only gets open, but look at the separation between him and the defensive back trying to cover him. There's plenty of room right here. Brady could throw this way behind and it would still be complete. This is an easy throw for Tom Brady to make, and that's just what Godwin can do. Again, that's why I say he's a true number 1 receiver, because in my opinion, the definition of a true number 1 receiver is someone you trust to win one-on-one matchups consistently. And just because Evans can also do that doesn't mean that Godwin can't. He's also a number 1 receiver that happens to be on a team that, also has Mike Evans. As you see, this throw actually is a bit behind, but Godwin breaks a tackle and does a great great work in open space, because that's another thing that he's fantastic at, is open space. As much as I love Mike Evans, let's be honest, he's not exactly a yards after the catch guy too much. But, who is Chris Godwin? Chris Godwin is a great yards after the catch guy. So he absolutely does a great job of, bringing that to the table. So now I want to show this play. This is a Super Bowl play. This is the only Super Bowl play I'm going to show. And I've shown this play a couple times. I think it's a really good example of kind of what Tampa Bay did in that playoff run, especially the Super Bowl, was basically Kansas City would try and double two players. So right here, what you see on the screen, they're doubling Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, which is notable because they still have Antonio Brown. And I think part of why you saw Antonio Brown get this target in particular was because he was the guy not getting double teamed. And when you have three dominant receivers, you can't double team all three of them. You just can't. You can only at most double team two guys unless you want to go to a three-man rush, which I don't think teams would want to do in that situation. So I do think that one concern I have as a Buccaneers fan is everyone keeps saying, oh, well, Antonio Brown will be back. I don't know if there's truth to that. I mean, he was really good last year. I hope he's back, but I don't think it's a guarantee. I could absolutely see, a team like Seattle or someone saying, we'll give you $8-9 million, which Tampa Bay just couldn't afford. So if someone's offering him $9 million and another team is offering him $2 million, even if he likes playing for the $2 million team, it's hard to turn down $7 million. It just is. But watch, on this play, you see that Antonio Brown is going to be able to get open because it's a one-on-one matchup. So it's a concern that Brown might not be there, especially after this tag. But if Brown isn't there, the tag actually makes a little bit more sense because now you're getting that number two receiver and you're still opening the door for Scotty Miller and Tyler Johnson. Even if they're not Antonio Brown, you're giving them better opportunities, which is still important. And, he takes attention away from Evans and Evans takes attention away from Godwin. Everybody works out better when you have more weapons. Okay, so one negative. This is, it's a small negative. It's nothing crazy, but it is something that people have brought up. It should be talked about. This is against Washington. It's a cover two man play, and this kind of coverage, this route, it's a good route. Godwin, this makes sense for Brady to look towards. And once this play starts, there is certainly an opening right here. It's not awful coverage, but again, it's a good route against this coverage, and Godwin's really good at running it, so this is definitely a good situation for Tampa Bay. But once this throw is made, Godwin is not able to hang on. Kind of hard to tell from that angle. I'll show the other angle right here. It is a drop. It's kind of a tough play, but one that Godwin typically makes. And he had a bit of a drop issue in the playoffs. But again, he also had some big plays. And over his career, he's been sure-handed. A few drops in big games. Those ones people are paying attention to more. But it's not something I would realistically be concerned with. So yeah, I guess what I'll say at the end is I don't love this because I want a long-term deal. I think a long-term deal makes more sense. And they could still make that happen. They don't have to have the $15 million cap hit this year. If they sign him to a long-term deal, it might be even $16 million. Somewhat conflicting reports. But, you give him a 5-year deal, you backload it a bit, and then you can sort of, maybe at least get Levante David or something. So as of right now, it's looking like they might not be able to get any of their big free agents, so that's a real issue. And it seems like if they could only get one guy, I think that personally I would say Godwin's maybe not the guy. I would have maybe liked them to, tag Levante David perhaps, and then sign Chris Godwin. I don't know. But, listen, at the end of the day, too, part of it is be great at something. And if their wide receiving core is great, if they can get Antonio Brown back, this offense should still be incredible, especially if they maybe draft a running back. Even if the defense takes a hit, they still have JPP, they still have Vita Vea, they're still going to have Devin White, they still have Antoine Winfield, they still have Carlton Davis. They have guys who can make plays. So even if their defense takes a hit, they could be, a mediocre defense and a great offense that can get it done too. So, I guess I'm lukewarm on this. I'm happy Godwin is still here, though, because I'm a big fan of his game. But yeah, I'd say I'm lukewarm. I like it, but I have some concerns. I guess, I don't know. Objectively, I'm not sure if it's the right move, but personally, I like it because I like Godwin on the team. That's how I feel. I suppose it's really going to depend on what's the rest of their plan and what else are they going to do here. I guess that's what it really comes down to. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What is your thought on this move? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.